Hi everyone, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket. This is my review. Actually everything after this particular video clip itself, this section, everything else is filmed entirely on the Osmo Pocket and entirely edited on a Google Pixel 3 XL. In other words, what you see came straight off this. It was all handheld like this. Very simple. So just to recap, if you didn't watch my first impressions, go back, have a look at that, because I went through every menu, every option with all my tips and tricks. But simply, you take it out of the box, you attach either the lightning adapter or the USB Type-C, you connect it into your phone using the DJI Mimo app. It first of all authenticates and registers the device, so it activates it. That's the first thing you can do. You have a simple swipe menu here, which you can go at the top up. That way brings up the gimbal settings. If you go left to right, you can see all the files you've edited or created that you can play back, but there's no speaker on here. If you go this way, you can go through and get all the different settings from photo, video, slow motion, and if you swipe again, you get the settings that are available for each particular mode. And if you come down, you've got additional settings here from calibration. But it's very simple. Two ways of operating it, like this, pressing to turn on, and then press the record button or using that to take a photo, or you can connect this into the phone and use the interface of your smartphone to have a bigger display. When it's connected to your phone, there are pro modes that you can bring up for both photo and video, time-lapse, and other options as well, additional options. And you also connect it to your phone to save the footage off this and onto your phone's gallery app. So what I've done with this, I've just gone and used it for a whole week, covering about 286 miles. Everything you see was handheld like this, and the best thing is go and watch the footage, and at the end I'm going to talk about what I found using this for a whole week, the pros and cons. So everything, including the very end, was filmed on the DJI Osmo Pocket. So go back, enjoy, and I'll catch you in about 10 minutes. It's bloody early, it's cold, it's the morning, and you know what? It's doors are closing behind me. It's actually time for some coffee.
Durham, Newcastle, London, Berwick-upon-Tweed, Edinburgh, Newmarket,
So here we are in Bristol. This is a pretty amazing city, lots of architecture, and hopefully we'll see some of the sights as the day goes on. Behind me is the passenger shed, and this is where passengers are stuffed in sheds. No kidding. So here we are at the Visitor Centre. This is the official Dartmoor Visitor Centre. It's getting dark, and just seeing how it looks on the low light. The screen makes it seem quite a bit brighter, but let's go see some other sights. So we're just heading towards the Two Bridges Hotel. Go. Two Bridges Hotel. This is rush hour. Dartmoor National Park. Sign up, see. Street lights. Morning guys, Wednesday. It's a bit nippy, it's quite a lot of wind, so it'll be interesting to see how the wind noise affects the mics on this. So this is the bacon bun. You see that? It looks massive. And there it goes. So it's Friday, just looking at how busy the shops are. Not too bad, and I hope you're enjoying the footage so far. hope you enjoyed the footage. I'm back on the DJI Osmo Pocket just to give you my verdict. So the first thing I would say, that the negative side, there's no dust and there's no water resistance. So when the weather's bad, you do have to be careful. The positive side being that it's really small, and some of the places I was able to film, nobody noticed I had this little Osmo Pocket. If you use it in flashlight mode, it's even more discreet, because you can literally have it up your sleeve with just the camera bit sticking out. I mean, very, very discreet, but you don't even need to go to that length at all. I've also noticed that photos work quite well. The great thing here is that I've got the face tracking, and as you see, if I move them around, the gimbal will keep track of me as we move around, and again it will follow. That coming on automatically is really, really good. It's a breeze to use, the quality is excellent. So you know, I have noticed that occasionally, I say out of probably about an hour's worth of footage, and probably about 60 or 70 different video clips that I took during the week, I would say 3 or 4 were out of focus. So when I went to look at the video, I was a bit disappointed to see they hadn't actually focused. It did surprise me a bit, but that's a very small negative. This is on, you know, this sort of early firmware, well, not early firmware, first release firmware, which is pretty good. What I'm saying is, I'm sure so many months down the line, this will get better and better. As it is, I think it does a fabulous job, and I intend to use this an awful lot. So I hope you like the footage. It seems to be pretty good at night. Having that mechanical stabilisation does help with night footage, I would say that. I wish there was a tripod mount, just thinking about it, because it'd be nice to hold this a little bit further away from myself, and you know, not be so cropped in, and have more of what's around me. And of course you have to buy the adapter, the thing that sits, connects or just slides into it, which you can then attach your sort of GoPro attachments to, and that's a little negative. And so I do think the fact that there's no water and dust resistance is another aspect that I think was a little bit disappointing. Not disappointing, you just got to be careful. Otherwise, as you can see, I just think it makes a great tool. It's very, very easy to use. I had a great blast using it. And everything you've just seen was all at 1080p, 30 frames per second. No 4K. Just don't need it. If you're just doing stuff like this, really straightforward, I just think you can just get away with 1080p, 30 frames per second. If you want that cinematic look, obviously you can go into Pro mode and select the 24 frames per second. And that's the other part. I wish that you didn't have to connect to get all those extra settings on here. They should be on this in the menu settings, in the menu on the actual Osmo Pocket. I think it's absolute nonsense that you have to plug it in to get those extra settings. And also, once you do get the extra settings set up and you disconnect the Osmo Pocket, you have got them still sitting on the phone, on the Osmo Pocket. But as soon as you exit Pro mode on here, you've lost them again, and you have to reconnect it into the actual phoning that you're using. There's no excuse, DJI. Get all the settings in the menus on this Osmo Pocket without having to use a phone, and then I think you've got a winning product. Anyway, this is Gavin from Gavin Gadget. I want you to all have a good end of year, season's greetings, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Catch you in 2019